All right, good. All right, good evening and welcome to Season 2, Week 2 at USA International. We are in the practice session. Going to jump over there here shortly to watch our drivers get ready. And thanks for tuning in to watch. We know you're watching, Micah. All right, I see some people popping up in the chat. Thanks for joining in to watch us tonight. Again, we are at Season 2, Week 2 at the USA International Speedway. Should be a very interesting race tonight. It's a pretty large track, but watching the practice session the other day, we should have some excitement coming into play here and there. We should be getting on into qualifying here before too long. Got about 5 minutes left to go in practice. Thanks for watching. All right, coming down to the last minute of our practice session tonight. See a little activity in the chat, so thanks for your comment. Definitely, let's go Samuel, number 19. Also in our league racers tonight, we have number 5, Scott Wilson, number 73, Dalton, and number 54, Willies, that are going to be driving. You will see a couple of other cars on tonight. That is the AI, filling out the race, but as we continue to grow the league, we should start seeing that fall off more and more with less AI, more drivers. Again, tonight we're going to be at the USA International Speedway. Like I mentioned before, it should be a very interesting race. We got some really long straightaways, Those corners are tough. Watching the practice session the other night, we might be in for a little bit of entertainment, maybe a few incidents, hopefully not too many, but we should see some of those coming through. 3/4 mile drive tonight. Oh, we got some betting going on in the chat. I like it. Okay. We should hop over into our drivers. I'll let them know. Number 73. You got some bets going on you. A whole paycheck's worth, so you might want to look out.
Oh, I'm betting against it to make the money. It's all rigged.
All right, we love a good competitive side. Thanks for keeping it interesting in the chats here. Oh, we even got some Bitcoins going. I love to see it. Thanks for watching tonight. As mentioned, we are just about to go into qualifying here. All right, so we might see a little bit of lagging here and there. I do apologize in advance. Right now we are in qualifying. Keying in on number 73, Dalton, first up. We're going to pop over, see how number 54, Willies, is doing in his qualifying. Speeding around the track, looking good. Holding pretty steady on that corner. Should be a good race. We're going to hop on over to check in on number 5. Scott. Looks like he just finished. Just missed him. He's heading back into the pits. Or maybe out. Let's see. Nope, heading back into the pits. So we're going to jump over to number 19, Samuel, who also just came in from the qualifying. For those times tonight. How much gifted for Dalton to crash and take out some cars? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think we should just run some running bets in there to see who's kind of like the top contender there. All right, so we are through qualifying now. We're going to get ready to race. While the drivers are lining up, we're going to go into a quick commercial, get them set up, and then we'll hop back over. Keep the chats active. It's pretty funny. I'm getting a good laugh out of it. Love the reactions. Thanks, guys, for watching. All right, so we are lining up, having a little bit of issue with our camera selector tonight. I'm going to work on fixing that as soon as possible. But we see everybody lining up here. There we go. I think we got it sorted. So up in front, kicking us off in first place after qualifying. Neck and neck, we have number 5, Scott, and number 73, Dalton. From a league perspective, up in third, we have Samuel, and then in fourth, we have number 54, Willies. We'll be going green here soon. Okay, and our pace car is leading us out. Already a little bit of competitive edging up in the front between number 73 and 5. Who is going to take first? So we're going to keep going around the track behind that pace car for one lap, and then we'll hit green. I agree, Lamar Boogie. I wouldn't want to be first on this track either. I do think it's going to be a tough race tonight. So I think a lot of misconception is that a lot of drivers, especially when they're first starting out, they jump in and they're like, yep, I'm going to win. I'm going to stay at the top the whole ride through. But really, it's around the middle towards the end of the race where our top competitors really shine, show that skill level. So should be an exciting race tonight. Okay, pace car is off and we are green. Number 73, Dalton, already stealing ahead. He's going to hit that first corner a little sharp, coming down low, but number 5 is holding his line there. Going to try to change up the camera angles just a little bit, see if we can see a little bit more action here, but already off to a neck and neck start there. Number 5 is going to break away. He's going to go high to build that momentum on that straightaway. We're going to take a quick peek over to see number 19, Samuel. He's holding steady kind of in that middle line. Number 54, Willie's right up behind him. Is going to be a shorter, kind of mid-sized track, short track, but we do have 80 laps to go tonight. Little bit about this track is that it definitely shows into the talent of these drivers. They're definitely going to have to hold steady and find that balance between, really giving it some go there. We saw at number 19 there, he had a little bit of understeering as he went around that corner. Took it a little too hard, and he started to overcorrect, head back towards that outside wall. I think we're going to see quite a bit of that tonight because these corners do come in pretty sharp. We'll get the iRacing audio back, but if you start finding it difficult to hear me, just let me know. I can play with the audio. We did a little bit of work in a practice session earlier in the week, but always wanting to revise, make sure we're giving a good show for you all that are watching, tuning in. So just let me know. We're going to hop back into the front, see how Scott and Dalton are doing. Scott's holding pretty steady at that first starting line. He's holding first, and then not too far behind him we have Dalton. So we're going to hop over, see how he's doing here. So about a car and a half length behind. The biggest thing there is keeping it steady. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Lamar Boogie. I appreciate the feedback. Glad to hear that you can hear me okay. Already 9 laps in, so we're making some good time around this track. These cars are going fast. So one of the misconceptions I feel like here is, they don't think, maybe I'll just lift a little bit, or it's just full throttle the entire course. But really, even though it has those longer straightaways, you can build up a lot of momentum, but those turns are going to be what eats at those tires tonight. So we're going to have some well-timed pit stops to get that. Maybe some other tactics or maneuvers to save the tires here tonight. I feel like that's kind of what the USA International... Yeah, we'll definitely check in on some of the racers, the drivers here in a little while. Let them get their good footing. Maybe if we go under a caution, we'll check in on a few. We did play around with the sound, see if we could have them join in, give some feedback. So I'm hopeful we can have some shout outs from them as well. So with the USA International Speedway, it has been closed down now in real life, but it's still available in sim racing, and it definitely shows like the skill level for these drivers. And that's kind of what it was built for in the initial, is that it was used a lot for NASCAR practice to really get the drivers comfortable with those steeply banked turns, how they could better control and find that balance between, full throttle, good braking, soft braking, and then when to lift. So it was a really cool track in its day. We're going to hop over, check in on number 19, Samuel, see how he's doing. Samuel's still holding steady back there, looking good, making good time around those corners. Not too far behind, we have number 54, Willie's. We're going to pop over, see how he's hanging in. Looking good through turn 3. Got a little bit low there, which could be a little bit of understeering. Didn't get a good enough look to give a good insight on that, but hanging in there. He's doing great. Right now, placement-wise, we are still holding steady with our top 2 competitors. Number 5, Scott in first. Number 73, Dalton in second. From our lead standpoint, we have in third, number 19, Samuel, and in fourth, number 54, Willies. As mentioned, we do have a few of the AI drivers or racers tonight, really just to pad out. But as we continue to go through these seasons, grow the league, the overall goal is just to have actual drivers racing in the event so we can kind of really show the skill level, the competitiveness of our drivers. 18 laps in already, we're looking great. As predicted, we have not, knock on wood, had any caution, so it's looking like a really good and clean race tonight. It looks like that practice session the other night helped out quite a bit. We're going to pop back over into number 19, Samuel, see how he's doing. Still holding really steady. Honestly, probably one of my favorite paint jobs of this season. Love the Joker, love the purple. Definitely feeling that vibe. And then we're going to key back in on our top two drivers, Scott and Dalton, see how they're hanging in. So holding steady. Scott's still holding in first, Dalton right behind him. They're taking those corners sharp, down low. They'll swing back out high. But into turn 3, we're still looking great. Biggest thing we'll be watching out for, and really the drivers will be watching out for tonight, is that tire wear. They're braking too hard around those corners. They're going to go through those tires super quick. It's going to be a tough balance between when to pit, not go through any of the tire sets they have allotted to them. Braking too aggressively is going to cause that, or if they're just full throttle through the entire thing, they're going to run through those tires. Doing a little bit of research in preparation for this race, I wanted to kind of inform myself, get a little bit more insight, and then also educate those who are watching. But it sounds like kind of the key initiatives or the key methods a lot of the drivers use that find success on this course is lifting just a little bit early, full throttle to that straight away, but then lifting a little bit early and then gentle braking. I think a lot, since those corners are so sharp, they'll just slam on the brakes to make that turn, but really rough on the tires. Looks like they're coming around a lapped car, number 1 there. Making their way around the track. 26 of 80 laps. Looking great. We're going to key in on a couple of our other drivers. Let's check in on number 54, Willies. Still doing well there, holding high. He's not cutting in too low on corner 3. I think that was one little slip up he had on that last one when we came in to watch. But really finding his footing, staying high on those straightaways, cutting down. Ooh, and some nice clean racing there. He was able to see those drivers beside him, stay high. He's doing well. We're early enough in the race, not too much of a worry for losing any kind of positioning, because there will be time to make up for it, even on such a short track. Willies is looking great. We're going to hop over and see how number 19 is doing. Number 19, Samuel, doing great as well. Holding steady. You see he loses a little bit of that momentum going around the corner. Same into 4, but then he's back on full throttle as he goes through that straightaway. And then immediately down into turn number 1. Holding steady, we're not seeing a lot of instances of, over or under steering, which is going to be the biggest factor into any potential incidents tonight. All looking good. Coming back up to the front, we have still in first, number 5, Scott, in second, number 73, Dalton. Ooh, getting a little short on that turn there, Dalton. Almost cut down in. Doing a little bit myself here and there, just trying to get a feel for the racing. I am not a racer myself, but just being involved, practicing every now and then those turns, especially getting down into kind of that yellow lined area. It is slick. It is a big hazard for potential spin out, so drivers definitely want to be careful of that as they're going in. Ooh, and Dalton tried to cut through a little bit lower, tried to sneak out a positioning take there. Did not quite make it. Number 5, Scott, was able to swoop in, block him from that turn. Mixing up the camera angles a little bit just so we can get some better insight. Car 5 really is good at holding his positioning. Is that worthy of a divorce? No, not this early in season 2, but check back later in the season. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is fun to watch. I love being involved. Definitely not worthy of divorce, but am keeping a close eye. Slayton wins, take his last name. That's honestly the plan. Even if he doesn't win, still the plan. But ooh, holding steady. Number 32 is looking like he's trying to come back. But I do, looking at our roster here, 32 is a lapped car, so really a lot of this, especially when you're lapped cars, trying to give some space for those up ahead. Obviously you still want to make up that ground, but just being respectful, being clean in the racing. You're looking good there. right, so we are over halfway through the race now, just 37 laps to go. Number 5 really is doing great at holding that positioning in first right now. He's looking very good. We're going to key in on a couple of our other drivers here in just a little bit. I think we're going to have to start seeing some pits here pretty soon as those tires start to wear, losing the grip around those corners. We're hopping in the car with number 5, Scott. See what everything looks like from his view, which is honestly pretty wild. If you've ever done any kind of sim racing or anything like that, similar to these guys, being in that driver's seat looks crazy. I'm sure it feels crazy for our drivers, which is really kind of the whole goal behind iRacing. That was their intent, was really bridging that gap between, you know, the general population, maybe the dads or the brothers or uncles or even maybe moms for some of our female drivers. Bridging that gap for those that couldn't actually compete in the real sport because, you know, it's expensive, it's dangerous, but sim racing brings that gap. Allows them to be competitive, learn the skill set, and really drive home into the love behind cars and racing. So it's a really cool transition. Oh, we have a requested shout out. Shout out to Lisa Hudson. Lisa, you've got this tonight. I'm gonna hop over to check on number 19, Samuel Wilson. Hop in the car with him, see how things are going. He's doing great. Went a little bit slower around that corner, but that's a-okay. We did hit a caution though, so we may take a quick commercial break, try to check back in on that incident. Or actually, I think we can just hop over into that. See if we can get these camera controls working here. I agree, Andrew. Willis Gomez got this. I think he's going to be our underdog. He's going to come back. He's looking really good, really clean in those turns. Maybe not. It did look like we had a little bit of oversteering in that one where lost traction and those back tires kind of hit that wall. So we are going to be under caution for a little bit. We're going to jump back to live. So some well-timed pits while we are under caution. This is when those drivers are going to fuel up, change out their tires, that way they can hit back out onto the track with some good traction. However, it's going to take a little bit for those tires to warm up, so we could still see a little bit of that grip loss as they're going around the track with those fresh tires, and then we'll be back in on the action here. We hit a little bit of a lag here. Let's try to get that fixed. There we go. 1 lap to green, so we should start seeing that green flag here. Right now we're just following the pace car, getting everybody back on track. We did have some placement changes during that incident and of course the caution, but we are green, so we're going to see some action coming back through here. Now up in first place, we have number 19, Samuel. In second, we have number 73, Dalton, and then right behind him is number 5, Scott. So they're actually going to be neck and neck. My roster may be a little bit outdated. It takes just a little bit for that to sync over, but we're just waiting for that pace car to move off and they can go green. Hopping over to see how Samuel's doing. He is on our first place position for the league racers tonight. Doing really well. That was a major come up. I don't think he actually pitted, so that may come into play later in the race. See if he can hold it down for the next 23 laps. About 2 or 3 car lengths behind, we have number 73, Dalton. He's trying to get back around that car so he can get back up in those lead positions. Not too far behind him, we have number 5, Scott. Coming around the track, they're holding steady. Really very surprised that we made it so far into the race tonight with only 1 incident. So we're looking really good. Drivers are doing great. Ooh, looks like we did have another caution. We're going to try to jump back, see what that crash looked like. Ooh, a lot of action there. We don't have a lot on the crash site. We see some safety vehicles here. But we're going to jump back in while we are under caution. We do only have 20 laps to go, so it's going to definitely have an impact here. Having a little bit of a delay in our video right now. Right now, it does look like number 73 is in first. We're going to hop over, see how he's doing. See if I can, there we go. Go under that caution for a bit longer. will bring down that caution. We'll get back on track there. We do have some lap cars ahead, but in first overall, as well as for our league tonight, we have number 73, Dalton. In second, we have number 19, Samuel. In third, number 5, Scott. Does look like Willie's is down and out for the count for this race, but I do have to give him a quick shout out, give him some credit there. He was holding really steady. This was going to be a difficult track. We knew that from the get-go. It's a short track, these corners are tough, but really clean driving tonight, Willie's. That crash was a little bit unfortunate, but you did great, man. So we are green with just 16 laps to go. We're going by super quick. I'm going to take a quick sec to check in on number 5, Scott, see how he's doing. You know, for the first half of this race and really about 2/3 of the race, he was leading. He was up front. He was holding steady. He was really great about blocking out number 73, Dalton, from getting that positioning, but those cautions and pit stops really make a difference. We're looking good, though. Number 73 is still up in front. We have number 19 in third, or second, actually. He's back up with Dalton. We have number 5, Scott, in third place. I'm getting Key back up in the front here. We do have the pace car back out, so we're slowing it down just a little bit. 12 laps to go. Lapped car making his way back around, trying to gain some time there. Number 19 holding his positioning. Since this was such a quick and tight race, we may try to check in on some of our drivers now, see if we can get anybody to give a shout out while that pace car is still out up in front. Good evening, racers. Just wanting to check in, see how you guys are hanging in there. If you want to give a shout out to those watching at home, definitely come over the mic. Looks like we do have some very focused drivers tonight. We'll try to catch up with them at the end of this race, since we do just have 7 laps to go. Hopefully we can get some shout outs, see if we can check in on our lead. Definitely want to see if we can talk to Scott and Samuel, see how they are feeling about things. At the beginning of the race, number 5, Scott, held down that first place positioning for the longest. Yeah, no sound from the drivers. Nobody came over their mic to give me a shout out. I think everybody's really focused, since we are down to the wire with only 6 laps to go. Ooh, number 19, he's gonna cut in. He is vying for that first place podium spot. Dalton hit it heavy through that straightaway. Number 19 holding steady through that corner. Can he get a placement position there? He's going to stay low on this straightaway. He'll come back out high. This would be his opportunity to try to close some of that ground. But with 4 laps to go, it's going to be a tough one. And you are very welcome, Lamar Boogie. Definitely want to keep you guys in the loop. Loving the activity in the chat. Makes my job a lot easier to know what you guys are looking for, what you're wanting to see. So definitely appreciate that. Just 2 laps to go. We are coming down to the wire. Number 5, he's going to skate in real low. He's trying to get that second place position. Right behind him is Scott Wilson, number 5. To go. We are about to hit that checkered flag. Unless something crazy happens, looks like number 73, Dalton, is going to come home for the win on this Season 2, Race 2. Definitely tune in for our special event on Wednesday next week, as well as week 3.
Oh yeah, that's a really good race.
Yeah, that's a good race. I was trying to manage my tires through the whole race without changing it. They started giving out on lap 65.
Yeah, it probably got hot.
Practicing my race management.
I just want to come around and watch it spin out.
All right.
Just done. I didn't want to run into nobody.
They look so cool doing it though.
All right, so we're going to check in on our drivers tonight. Race has ended with our first place spot. We're going to check in and see how Dalton feels after that race. All right, number 73, go ahead and come over the mic. You just came out with a win at USA International. Number 73, can you hear me over there? All right, looks like our drivers cannot hear me. Let's see if we can get that fixed really quick so we can check in. All right, let's try it out now. Can you hear me? All right. So one of our people watching calling you Daddy Dalton, number 73. How do you feel coming out with that win?
Well, first of all, kind of weird. Second of all, no, it was a great race. I think we came in with a different mindset with the strategy that we had going on, but I told the guys that we're going to watch tonight that I needed to come home with a win, or y'all think I couldn't do that, so I really tried tonight. That's about it.
Yeah, there was a lot on the line, even so much as taking your last name, so I think that's a go. All right, so we're going to hop over, check in on a couple of our other racers tonight. Number 5 or number 19, Scott and Samuel, if you want to hop over on the mic, give a quick shout out to those you had tuning in tonight.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Dalton. Good race.
Yeah, we get a shout out to Dalton. Great race, Dalton. We pulled this one out. I tried my best to go without hitting in this race. Unfortunately, that didn't pay off. The car started giving away on lap 65.
Good. Send a shout out so I know the Randolphs are watching. My nephew.
Also, I want to give a shout out to my dad. He's the one who taught me a lot about cars and racing, so I want to give a shout out to him.
What was that, Sam?
That was awesome. Thanks, guys. Great race tonight. You all did wonderful. For only a couple of cautions, it was a good turnout. Thanks for racing. And we do have some comments coming through. Thank you to those who tuned in. Glad to have y'all here. Oh, we got a little bit of a burnout, a little bit of a donut there. Dalton celebrating the win tonight. Alright, so we're going to ease on over to our ending screen here. Let these drivers recap. We do like to have little post sessions with them to see, tips and tricks, see how they can best improve. Again, thank you all for tuning in to watch tonight. It was great hanging out with everybody. We're excited for next week. We have a special event coming up as well as our Season 3 Week 3 race. Definitely tune in. As always, a big thank you to our sponsor, Gypsy Soul Knives, Nielsen Knives, GC Racing, CXT, and our sponsor for this Season 2, S&S Hot Rods. And thank you for the teaching compliment. Definitely wanted to come in with a little bit more info, so we'll try to keep that going as we go through the next races. Thanks for watching and have a great night.